Imagine ruling a country for merely 20 minutes. This is the mind-boggling story of Louis Antoine, Duke of Angoulême, who holds the record for the shortest reigning monarch in history. On August 2, 1830, amidst the chaos of the July Revolution in France, King Charles X abdicated, passing the throne to his son, Louis Antoine. Just moments after his accession, intense political pressure and the looming threat of violence forced him to abdicate in favor of his nephew, the young Henry V. This whirlwind of royal upheaval highlights the fragility of power and the unpredictable nature of monarchical rule. In less time than it takes to watch an episode of your favorite show, Louis Antoine's reign came and went, a fleeting blip in the turbulent history of France, underscoring how swiftly tides can turn in the world of royalty. In the first Olympic marathon in 1896, athletes were already using performance-enhancing substances, marking the beginning of a controversial quest for athletic superiority that persists to this day. Competitors, desperate for an edge, turned to modern concoctions like brandy and strychnine, yes, the same poison used to kill pests, to boost their stamina and endurance. Spiridon Louis, a Greek water carrier, emerged victorious, but the shadow of chemical enhancement lingered. This surprising slice of history reveals that from the very start, the drive to outpace rivals has led athletes down a path where the line between natural talent and artificial aid is often blurred. As we marvel at today's sports feats, it's crucial to remember that the quest for advantage is as old as the games themselves, echoing back to a time when victory was worth risking it all, even with a cocktail of brandy and poison coursing through one's veins. Imagine an outbreak of unstoppable laughter that lasted for months, spreading like a virus across villages. This was no joke but reality in 1962 Tanzania. Known as the Tanganyika laughter epidemic, what began in a girls' boarding school quickly spiraled into an uncontrollable phenomenon, affecting thousands of people with bouts of laughter that lasted anywhere from a few hours to 16 days. Schools were shut down, and entire communities were bewildered as the infectious laughter spread beyond the initial location, highlighting the mysterious and contagious nature of human emotions. This bizarre event puzzled researchers and psychologists, leading to theories ranging from mass hysteria to stress-induced psychosomatic reactions. The epidemic eventually subsided, but not without leaving an indelible mark on the region and a lasting question about how deeply interconnected our emotions truly are. Calvin Coolidge had a pet raccoon named Rebecca, and no, she wasn't meant to be a White House mascot, she was supposed to be dinner. In 1926, a Mississippi man sent the raccoon as a Thanksgiving meal, but the Coolidges were so charmed by her antics that they pardoned her from the dinner table. Rebecca roamed the White House grounds, often seen on a leash or exploring the halls, endearing herself to staff and visitors alike. Coolidge even had a special house built for her on the White House lawn. This wasn't just a quirky presidential pet, it was a reflection of Coolidge's unexpected fondness for animals, which included a menagerie of other unusual pets like a pygmy hippopotamus. The presence of Rebecca the raccoon added a whimsical touch to the Coolidge presidency, reminding us how even the most unexpected elements can shape our perceptions of historical figures. Ancient Romans used urine as mouthwash. Yes, you heard that right. In a time when oral hygiene was a curious blend of inventive and extreme, urine was prized for its ammonia content, which could whiten teeth and fight off bacteria. The process was surprisingly systematic. Romans collected urine in large vessels, letting it ferment before using it as a cleansing agent. This practice wasn't limited to the lower classes, even the wealthy indulged in this unconventional routine. Urine from Portugal was especially sought after, considered the finest quality for such purposes. While it might seem shocking today, this method underscores the incredible lengths ancient civilizations went to maintain cleanliness and the clever, albeit odd, solutions they devised with the resources at hand. It's a testament to human ingenuity and the timeless pursuit of beauty and health, no matter how unconventional the means.
Ear that started war. A man's ear once ignited a war between Britain and Spain in 1739. Known as the War of Jenkins' Ear, this conflict started when a British sea captain, Robert Jenkins, presented his severed ear to the British Parliament, claiming it was cut off by Spanish coast guards. The ear, preserved in a jar, became a symbol of Spanish aggression. Tensions between the two maritime powers were already high due to trade disputes and territorial ambitions in the Caribbean and the Americas. Jenkins' ear was the bizarre catalyst that pushed Britain to declare war, rallying public outrage over perceived Spanish brutality. What seemed like a trivial incident actually underscored deeper geopolitical frictions, as the war soon escalated into a broader conflict, entangling other European powers. This peculiar spark highlights how seemingly minor events can explode into full-scale wars, reminding us of the absurdity and complexity of historical conflict triggers.
Cleopatra, Queen of Deception. Cleopatra wasn't Egyptian, she was Greek, a descendant of Alexander the Great's general, Ptolemy. Her reign in ancient Egypt was a striking anomaly, blending cultures and defying the norms of royal leadership. Cleopatra spoke multiple languages and was a shrewd politician, often overshadowed by her legendary romances. But it was her cunning and charisma that truly set her apart in a male-dominated world. Born in 69 BC, Cleopatra VII was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, a dynasty that had ruled for nearly 300 years. Despite being Greek, she embraced Egyptian traditions, even presenting herself as the reincarnation of the goddess Isis. This fusion of identities made her both a revered and controversial figure, as she navigated a complex political landscape. Her love affairs with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony weren't just romantic escapades, they were strategic alliances that aimed to secure her power and protect her kingdom. Cleopatra's relationship with these Roman titans was scandalous, yet it demonstrated her skill in using love as a tool of diplomacy. Her life was a blend of calculated political moves and passionate personal choices, making her one of history's most enigmatic figures. Cleopatra's death marked the end of an era, as her kingdom fell to Rome and became a province of the burgeoning empire. But her legend endures, a captivating tale of a queen who was much more than the sum of her love stories. Cleopatra defied the traditional narratives of ancient royalty, leaving a legacy that continues to intrigue and inspire, reminding us that history is often more complex than it appears. Roman soldiers were once paid in salt, and that's where our word salary comes from. Imagine getting your paycheck in little white grains instead of cash. This wasn't just because salt was essential for seasoning food, it was a critical commodity that could preserve food in a time before refrigeration. Salt was so precious that it became a form of currency, a testament to its value in ancient economies. In the Roman Empire, salt was a strategic resource. Soldiers needed it not only for their diets but also to keep their equipment in top condition. The Roman government ensured a steady supply to maintain military might. The term salarium was coined, referring to the allowance given to soldiers to buy salt, eventually becoming the word we use today for wages, salary. This isn't just a quirky historical tidbit, it highlights how commodities can shape entire economic systems. Salt routes were established, becoming the backbone of trade networks that span continents. From the Sahara to the Silk Road, salt was traded like gold, its worth unrivaled by any other seasoning. This trade connected diverse cultures and civilizations, underscoring the profound impact of an ordinary mineral. Next time you sprinkle salt on your fries, remember you're not just adding flavor. You're participating in a tradition that dates back thousands of years, when those tiny crystals were worth their weight in gold. The humble salt shaker on your table is a direct descendant of a storied past, echoing an era when salt could buy loyalty and secure empires. 38-minute war explained. The shortest war in history lasted just 38 minutes, a whirlwind clash that erupted between the British Empire and the Sultanate of Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. Imagine waking up to a conflict that's over before your morning coffee is cold. The explosive cause: a sudden shift in power when the pro-British Sultan unexpectedly died, and his successor, Sultan Khalid bin Bargash, seized the throne without British approval. This audacious move was akin to lighting a fuse on a powder keg, setting the stage for an incredibly brief but intense showdown. The British, having already established significant control in the region, viewed Khalid's unsanctioned claim as a direct threat to their interests. They demanded his immediate abdication, but Khalid barricaded himself inside his palace, preparing for a fight. What ensued was a rapid-fire exchange that saw British naval forces bombarding the palace and dismantling Khalid's defenses with ruthless efficiency. Imagine the skies darkened by cannon smoke, the deafening roar of naval artillery echoing across the island. Despite the Sultan's efforts to fortify his position, the technological superiority of the British forces was overwhelming. In a mere 38 minutes, Khalid's resistance crumbled. The palace lay in ruins, and Khalid himself fled to safety, seeking asylum in the German consulate. The British swiftly installed a new sultan, one more amenable to their rule, ending the conflict as quickly as it had begun. This blink-and-you-miss-it war raises profound questions about the nature of conflict and power. How could such a monumental clash be resolved in the time it takes to watch a sitcom? The Anglo-Zanzibar War stands as a testament to the unpredictable and often absurd realities of geopolitical struggles, where timing, technology, and tenacity converge in the most unexpected ways. Napoleon vs. Bunnies, Chaos. Napoleon Bonaparte's greatest ambush wasn't by an army, but by an army of rabbits. In 1807, after signing the treaties of Tilsit, Napoleon decided to celebrate with a rabbit hunt organized by his chief of staff, Alexander Berthier. What was meant to be a relaxing afternoon quickly spiraled into chaos as hundreds, possibly thousands, of rabbits were released from their cages. But instead of fleeing for their lives, these unexpected adversaries turned the tables on the emperor. The hunt took a bizarre turn as the rabbits, perhaps mistaking Napoleon and his party for the ones who provided their food, charged towards them. With nowhere to hide and swarming in numbers, the bunnies leapt onto the soldiers' boots, coats, and even into the carriages. Laughter turned into panic as the imperial entourage, including Napoleon himself, attempted to shoo away the relentless creatures. Running out of options, they retreated to their carriages, with rabbits still in pursuit. This surreal scene, almost cartoonish in its absurdity, saw the mighty general, who had conquered vast lands and commanded immense armies, retreating in the face of nature's smallest warriors. The event became a whispered tale of embarrassment, one of history's lesser-known yet delightfully whimsical episodes. It serves as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of life, where even the most powerful can be rendered powerless by the smallest of foes. Napoleon's rabbit fiasco might not be found in most history books, but it definitely hops out as a testament to the unexpected twists in historical narratives. This peculiar incident adds a human touch to the legendary figure, showing that despite his numerous military triumphs, even Napoleon wasn't immune to nature's playful sense of humor.